You're walking down an ordinary street in the dead of night. The silence is nearly absolute, broken only by the echo of your own footsteps. The streetlights flicker, as if uncertain whether to illuminate your path or leave you in shadow. Suddenly, from a dark corner, a figure emerges. A man. His presence is elegant yet strange. He's dressed in old-fashioned clothes, like something out of a 19th century portrait. A wide-brimmed hat, a long wool coat, and a cane that seems more ornamental than practical. His face, pale and serene, watches you with a mix of curiosity and urgency. He approaches slowly, soundlessly, and asks in a deep, deliberate voice, "Could you tell me, what day is it today? And what year?" Confused, you assume he's lost. You reach for your phone to answer, but when you look up, he's gone. No footsteps, no shadow, no trace, just emptiness, as if he had never been there at all. But the most unsettling part comes when you check your phone. The screen flickers, and for a brief moment, it displays a date that doesn't match the present. A date from the past, a distant past. Urban legend? Collective delusion? Or evidence of something science has yet to explain? From Swiss watches found in ancient tombs to testimonies of people claiming to have seen the future or returned from the past, time travel has fueled human imagination for centuries. But not all of it is fiction. Modern physics, with theories like Einstein's relativity and the concept of wormholes, hints that perhaps, just perhaps, we're not so far from turning fantasy into possibility. In this video, we'll explore the most unsettling accounts, the most baffling cases, and what science has to say about them. Prepare to question your perception of space and time, because what you're about to see might just change the way you understand reality. Are you ready to cross the threshold? I'm Adu, and we're about to embark on a journey into the unknown. Let's talk about a classic. For that, we need to travel to Tokyo in the year 1954. Just another ordinary day at Haneda Airport. Staff were working as usual, assisting passengers, stamping passports a day like any other. Until he arrived. A well-dressed man with a calm demeanor. He appeared from within the crowd, carrying a leather briefcase, wearing a gray suit, and a tranquil expression. He approached passport control. The officer stopped him to inspect his documents, but frowned as he examined them. The passport he handed over looked genuine. It bore entry stamps from Japan, Germany, and other real countries. But something was off. It claimed to be issued by Taured. The man insisted, Taured is a country. It lies between France and Spain. He said he'd been to Japan before, had meetings scheduled with local executives and hotel reservations, and he had the documents to prove it. But none of it made sense. The companies didn't exist. The hotel claimed no reservation under his name. Perplexed and suspecting he might be a fraud who had forged everything, the authorities placed him in a hotel under surveillance while they investigated further. 2 guards were stationed at the door. It was the only exit, and the room was on a high floor. But the surprise came at dawn. The room was empty. There were no signs of escape. The window was untouched. The man had simply vanished. But this is where the mystery begins to unravel. Unfortunately, there's no official record of the incident in Japanese archives. No newspaper from 1954 mentions the case. And most revealing of all, the story doesn't appear in any credible source before the 1980s. Everything points to the case being either fabricated or heavily embellished by mystery writers. Some believe it stemmed from a confusion with Andorra, a real country between France and Spain that many are already familiar with. Others suggest it may have been a fictional tale published as true in sensationalist magazines. Still, the man from Taured embodies everything that fascinates us. Parallel realities, glitches in the Matrix, time travelers, and the next stories carry much of that same intrigue. The Impossible Watch. We're in China, in the year 2008. Imagine you're excavating a tomb sealed for over 400 years. Suddenly, amid the dust and stones, as the coffin is being cleaned, a rock falls to the ground with a metallic clink. An object appears, one that shouldn't be there. A modern wristwatch, engraved with the words, "Made in Switzerland." The first known wristwatch was created by Abraham Louis Breguet in 1810 for Queen Caroline Murat of Naples, one of Napoleon Bonaparte's sisters. And the label "Made in Switzerland" is a modern designation, introduced long after the founding of the Swiss state in 1848. Logic collapses. Inside a sealed tomb, untouched by time, lies an object that hasn't even been invented yet. A mistake in archaeology, some kind of prank, or evidence of something that defies our understanding of time itself? It's true the object was never publicly displayed or examined by independent experts. The story relies solely on unverified testimonies and reports. But what does this case reveal about our need to find the extraordinary? Is it proof that there are still mysteries waiting to be solved? Or simply an example of how imagination fills the gaps left by science? I invite you to share your theory in the comments about this mysterious watch that defies what we believe. What if time isn't as linear as we think? What if there are hidden doors woven into the fabric of the universe, gateways that allow us to leap into the past or the future? Science, far from dismissing the idea entirely, has explored paths that could turn fantasy into astonishing possibility. In 1905, Albert Einstein forever changed our understanding of the universe. His theory of special relativity revealed something remarkable. Time is not absolute. It stretches, compresses, and transforms depending on the speed at which we travel. If a spacecraft could approach the speed of light, time inside it would slow down. For its passengers, only minutes might pass, while years could unfold back on Earth. Traveling to the future isn't just theoretical, we've already done it. Atomic clocks aboard satellites and aircraft show real differences in time. Small, yes, but real. So real, in fact, that they must be periodically adjusted because time flows differently in space than it does on Earth. And Einstein didn't stop there. In 1915, he introduced general relativity, showing that gravity also affects time. Near massive objects like a black hole, time slows dramatically. Imagine orbiting a black hole in a spacecraft for just a few hours and returning to Earth to find that decades have passed. A journey into the future, powered by gravity itself. But I know what you're wondering. What about traveling to the past? Before we answer that question, let's explore a few other intriguing cases. Time is an illusion, a line we believe moves forward, but perhaps it's just one layer stacked upon another. What if a machine could pierce through those layers? What if it could capture the light of a moment long forgotten? A device that, with scientific precision, allows you to witness almost as if you were there, the hidden secrets of history. Deep within the Vatican, among secret documents and concealed artifacts, whispers speak of a machine capable of looking into the past. They say it's not just a medieval legend or a science fiction tale. It's the chronovisor, a device that, according to some accounts, allows people to view historical events as if they were live broadcasts. Divine technology, or a centuries-old cover-up. The story begins in 1972 when Father François Brune, a theologian and author, publishes a book titled Le Nouveau Mystère du Vatican. In it, he recounts a conversation with Father Pellegrino Ernetti, a Benedictine monk, physicist, and expert in ancient music. Ernetti confides that, alongside a team of scientists including Enrico Fermi and Wernher von Braun, he had built a machine capable of capturing images from the past. The chronovisor. According to Ernetti, the device worked by detecting residual waves left behind by every event in space-time, as if the universe were a tape that never stops recording. He claimed to have witnessed historical moments such as the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, speeches by Napoleon Bonaparte, and lost Roman theatrical performances like the tragedy Thyestes by Quintus Ennius. But the most shocking revelation was a supposed photograph of Christ's face, taken directly from the chronovisor. The image was published in Italian newspapers during the 1970s, though it was later revealed to be identical to a statue from the Sanctuary of Divine Mercy in Collevalenza. Ernetti described the chronovisor as being composed of antennas to capture electromagnetic waves, a temporal coordinate selector, screens to visualize the events, and a recording system. The idea was that everything that happens leaves behind an energetic imprint in the universe, and that these imprints could be reconstructed if their frequency was known. Ernetti claimed the Vatican confiscated the chronovisor and classified it as a state secret. According to him, the Church feared its use could alter the course of history, destroy faith, or expose uncomfortable truths. Father Brune also asserted that the Vatican had banned any investigation into the chronovisor under threat of excommunication. Why so much silence? Did it truly exist, or was it a strategy to protect doctrine? Many experts believe the chronovisor was a fabrication by Ernetti, perhaps driven by a desire to reconcile science with faith. The version of Thyestes he presented was criticized for containing modern vocabulary and structures foreign to classical Latin, and the photograph of Christ, as mentioned earlier, was discredited. No physical evidence of the device was ever produced, but the myth endures. Because beyond its authenticity, the chronovisor raises a haunting question. What if we could see the past as if it were the present? As impossible as it may seem, science has explored theories that could open the door to backward time travel. Returning to Einstein's general relativity, it predicts the existence of wormholes, shortcuts through space-time that could connect two distant points, or two different eras. Physicist Kip Thorne proposed that if one end of a wormhole were accelerated to high speeds or placed near an intense gravitational field, a time difference could emerge between its two ends. In other words, entering one side might take you to the past of the other. But there's a catch. We'd need exotic matter with negative energy to keep the tunnel open, and unfortunately, there's no evidence yet that such matter exists. Physics also allows for the existence of closed causal loops, paths in space-time that bend back on themselves. In these scenarios, an object could return to the point where it started, but in the past. Physicist Igor Novikov proposed that these loops wouldn't violate causality as long as the events within them adjust to prevent paradoxes. So, could you travel to the past, but without changing it? Would you be part of an inevitable cycle? Or maybe you already are. Scientific determinism holds that the universe unfolds according to immutable physical laws. Under this view, if we knew every condition of the universe at a specific moment, we could predict the future with absolute precision. Pierre-Simon Laplace captured this idea with his famous concept of a demonic intelligence, a being capable of calculating the fate of everything, from atoms to galaxies. Classical physics reinforces this determinism, but quantum physics introduces randomness and probability. Is the universe truly unpredictable at the quantum level, or do we simply not yet understand its hidden rules? Some scientists believe that even quantum uncertainty might be governed by variables we haven't discovered. If the universe is entirely deterministic, then the past, present, and future are already written. There's no room for improvisation. Traveling to the past wouldn't change anything, because your journey was already part of the timeline. It's like watching a film that's already been shot. You can replay it, but you can't rewrite the script. So far, everything suggests that traveling to the past presents enormous challenges. With our current scientific knowledge, it seems like an almost impossible feat, or at the very least, beyond our reach. But if we've already accepted that traveling to the future is possible under certain physical conditions, how might that affect us? What implications would it have for our perception of time and of destiny? If the future can be reached, does that mean it already exists? Is it written somewhere in the universe, waiting for us to arrive? And if the future is out there, what's stopping the past from being there too? Maybe it's not a matter of impossibility, but of access. Maybe time isn't a line, but a quantum labyrinth we've yet to learn how to navigate. And speaking of the future, the next story has much to reveal. 1943, in the midst of World War II. At a naval shipyard in Philadelphia, United States, a secret experiment takes place, one that would change history, or so they say. A warship vanishes before the eyes of stunned witnesses, as if it were never there. Some speak of teleportation, others of time travel. The USS Eldridge, a Navy destroyer escort, was allegedly subjected to a military experiment designed to render it invisible to radar and to the human eye. According to the accounts, the ship disappeared in a greenish flash, reappeared in Norfolk, Virginia, and then returned to Philadelphia. All signs pointed to the experiment having propelled the vessel a few days into the future. Quite the upgrade from the original plan, wouldn't you say? But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Some witnesses claimed that sailors aboard the Eldridge were fused into the ship's metal, a grotesque and horrifying scene. Others reportedly went mad, and some vanished without a trace. The story gained traction thanks to Carl Allen, also known as Carlos Miguel Allende, who sent letters to writer Morris K. Jessup in the 1950s. Allen claimed to have witnessed the experiment firsthand and described chilling details. Jessup, intrigued, published his theories on alien technology and space-time manipulation. His ideas were rooted in the belief that extraterrestrial civilizations had visited Earth in the past, and that their technology had influenced ours. He speculated, based on his travels to ancient ruins in Peru and Mexico, that alien civilizations had once walked the Earth. He even suggested that human civilization is far older than we think, with places like Atlantis having developed spaceflight and levitation. Jessup hinted that much of this knowledge is now hidden, guarded by a select few who pull the strings behind governments and secret experiments that have propelled human technology far beyond what we expected. Returning to the Philadelphia experiment, some believe electromagnetic fields were used to alter the very fabric of space-time. Others link it to Einstein's theory of the unified field, an idea he never completed. But let's ask the real question: how much truth is there in all of this? The U.S. Navy has firmly denied that such an experiment ever took place. The official records of the USS Eldridge don't match the dates of the alleged event. Carl Allen was deemed unreliable. His letters showed signs of delusion. He retracted his claims multiple times, then reaffirmed them, only to later say it had all been a joke. As for the unified field theory, its goal is to merge all fundamental forces of nature, gravity, electromagnetism, the strong and weak nuclear forces, into a single mathematical framework. In reality, it has little to do with the implications suggested by the story. As we reflect on everything we've explored today, one thing becomes clear. Traveling to the past remains, for now, a distant dream. Our current technology isn't even close to making it possible. Yet that doesn't stop us from imagining that somewhere in a remote corner of the universe, perhaps within a civilization far more advanced than ours, someone may have already unlocked the secret to making it real. Maybe in that place, time isn't a line, but a door that opens in both directions. What we can say with certainty is that traveling to the future, while limited, is scientifically possible. Relativity allows it, and we've already confirmed it through real-world experiments. Time, it seems, isn't as rigid as we once believed. The universe is a book we've only just begun to read, and with every page we turn, we discover that reality is stranger, deeper, and more mysterious than we ever imagined. Perhaps time isn't an enemy, but an ally we've yet to understand. And if there are secrets hidden among the stars, it's only a matter of time or imagination before we uncover them. I'm Adu, and this is where today's journey ends. But before we close this portal, I want to hear from you. Do you believe time travel is pure fiction for our current technology? Or are there hidden clues on our planet suggesting it could be real? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Until the next video, Mystery Explorers.